Hi guys, welcome to Driven, brought to you by Petronas Primax. Today we'll have an action-packed shootout, so there's no time to waste. Well, looks like the party has started without me. For many years, if you wanted a fast car that you can drive every day, you'd get yourself a Volkswagen Golf GTI. Now, it is fast, but don't you think it's getting a little boring?
Boring is one thing, but I'm just sick and tired of all these GTIs tailgating me every day. There you go, right on cue. Have a little more class, people, and get this Mercedes-Benz A250 Sport. It's just as quick as a Golf, but it looks so much better. Welcome to the Ugly Duckling Express. We are in the BMW 125i, and unlike the other hot hatch that we are comparing today, this one has rear-wheel drive. And that means around the corners, this is a whole lot of fun.
A hot hatch is still a car that you have to live with every day. After a long hard day at work, you don't want to get into a car that will make you go insane with a hard suspension. So maybe what you're looking for is the Volvo V40 T5.
Wow, that was a fun drive. This Mark 7 GTI is more complete than the one it replaces. It's just brilliant and I absolutely love it.
I know it's good, but think of the brand image lah, bro. It's so common, especially outside nightclubs.
Well, it's no Mercedes-Benz. This screams, hey look, I got so much money!
You say it like it's a bad thing. If you've got it, flaunt it lah. This is proper premium metal. You can park in front of hotels in this.
Now what about the BMW? Where does that belong?
I don't know, dude. Angry Birds, maybe?
Hey, come on lah, Chris!
No, and I tell you why. This is the best angle to enjoy the car. And you know what, just now, through those roads, I could have left you all behind. You all would have eaten my dust and you would have loved it.
That reminds me. Where's Paul, Finally.
Yep. So I guess it's the journey, not the destination that counts, huh, Paul?
It's counting on being fashionably lit. Did it work?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's not quite the hot hatch like the other cars here, but at least it's comfortable and really good to look at.
This sexy suite has the most relaxing interior in this group. The plastics are top-notch, the button layout is sensible, and the seats are extremely cozy. Adding to the visual treat is the LCD instrument cluster and super cool illuminated gear knob.
In comparison, the Golf cabin looks rather drab. It's all black in here, save for a few red highlights. But build quality is faultless, and the touchscreen head unit is the most user-friendly system here. The rest of it is fine, but next to its premium rivals, fine is just not special enough.
That's not a problem with the Mercedes though. The A-Class looks just as impressive on the inside as it is on the outside. There's just so much flash in here. The retro air vents, the Alcantara seats, even the bright red seat belts. So much that you can overlook its tiny low-res screen and the manual aircon.
The 125i's insides, on the other hand, looks just like any other BMW. Boring with a capital B. It has the tightest rear cabin too, no thanks to its rear-wheel drive layout. See how small this car is?
Eat dust, Hafriz! Catch me if you can!
Challenge accepted.
Jumping from the Volvo into this car, now I can tell you the difference is like night and day. The suspension is so hard in this car that I don't know if I could live with it every day. I can tell you this, Mercedes-Benz certainly doesn't make cars for old people anymore.
Now that is very surprising because this 1 Series is very soft. They've done the opposite of what you would expect. But really, you'd be wrong to think that BMW has gone soft because this is still the best seat in the house. So now you get a smooth ride and a thrilling drive. I just love it.
Now the Volvo feels soft, so handling could be better. However, it packs a punch on the straights. The interior feels very nice. Small problem, the passengers are feeling as much fun as you are, and that's not a good thing when you talk about hot hatches. You should be having all the fun.
Look, all they ever do is complain. But you gotta feel sorry for them, you know, because their cars don't come with adjustable suspension. The Golf GTI, it does. Now it's called the DCC, and what this DCC does, it turns your shopping cart into a go-kart. And what you really get is a car that is the best of both worlds.
Hey guys, I'm running low on fuel. I think we gotta stop at the next Petronas. These may be hot hatches, but we think that fuel economy is just as important as speed. So we've done a fuel test with Petronas Premax, the fuel that truly gives you more. Best of the lot is the BMW 125i. Despite being the fastest, it's also the most efficient here, averaging 14.1 km per litre. The Golf GTI is up next with 13.1 km per litre, followed by the Mercedes A250 at 12.5 km per litre. The 5-cylinder Volvo uses the most fuel, returning just 10.7 km per litre. Now it's time to see how hot these hatches really are. As much fun as they are on the road, nothing beats a racetrack to find out their full potential.
The Golf GTI's handling is just perfect. There's hardly any understeer at all, and the DSG gearbox is pretty much the perfect performance gearbox. Just hear that exhaust pop during gear changes is so addictive. I could just do this all day, man.
But I wouldn't. Not in this Volvo at least. It's just too soft for any kind of track work. There are no pedal shifts, and the old 6-speed automatic gearbox is just not up to the task. If you drive one of these, just keep it on the road.
The stiff suspension on the A-Class makes sense. Now here on this little racetrack, I could feel that there is very little body roll, and I could hold my speed throughout the corners, so there's good in and out speed. But it's just too bad that the gearbox in this A-Class isn't as responsive as what you would get on GTI.
Now there's a reason why I selected the BMW. That's because it's the only one that's rear-wheel drive. So I can do this.
Such a show off. That car I also can do. Well, you know what? Since we're on the racetrack, let's find out which one is the fastest.
We should. Enough, come back. Let's switch cars and see what the others can do.
They're just jealous of how good I am. It's time to live up to my nickname, the Flying Sikh.
Oi!
What? Taken? Fine. What about the thing? The Volvo is obviously not built for the track, so it goes all over the place. It loves the straights, but when it comes to turns, it just falls apart. It sets a low benchmark time of 1 minute 1.7 seconds. Up next is the BMW, and it does feel a little soft around the corners, but steering feel is great and I can kick the back end out on demand, so it's faster with a time of 1:01.2. The Golf GTI feels a lot more at home than the first two. It stays flat through the bends, so you are faster everywhere. It dips under 1 minute, crossing the line in 58.4 seconds. Now it's time for the A-Class to show its true colours. The super stiff suspension that made it undrivable on the roads finally makes sense here. But can it beat the mighty Golf? Looks like it can't. The Merc is slower, half a second behind the GTI.
So, we've spent the whole day driving all these 4 cars. Now, it's time to drop our verdict.
Dead last is the Mercedes-Benz A-Class. It's an awesome car to drive on the track, but it's a bit too hardcore to live with every day.
It's no surprise that the V40 came in third. It's a really good looking car, has decent power, decent handling and decent ride, which only makes it a decent car.
Coming in second is the BMW 1 Series. Surprisingly, the most comfortable car to drive here and the most balanced. And while it's not the fastest on the track, you'll probably have the most fun driving it there. It's a shame about the looks though.
And that brings us to the overall winner, the Volkswagen Golf GTI. It's still the best on the road and the quickest on track, so the GTI is still the king of the hot hatches.
Okay guys, that's all for this week. If you have any comments, you know where to reach us. Okay, see you, Half. Huh? Bye. Why do I get this all the time? Bro! Always!
Driven, powered by Petronas Primax, the fuel that truly gives you more.